Canada's success is inextricably linked to your success.
And that is a key thing we need to keep in mind as we get underway. We're just about to get going with our first award winners, but I have to ask you something.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Ever since I've met you, I mean, I have to say, I've been dying to know this. It is one of the questions that plague humanity.
Yes, sir.
Do you like kiwi? Have you ever tried kiwi?
You mean those delicious green fuzzy fruit?
I mean kiwi fruit.
I really like them in drinks, especially when I'm laying on a beach. Why?
Well, it turns out, and you won't know this, I'm sure, and you probably won't as well, but the company that introduced kiwi fruit to North America started its business in Canada 160 years ago, older than our country. And not only is this country and this company a best managed company, this company is in the house tonight.
They are?
They
Where?
absolutely are. You just head out in that direction, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Oppenheimer Group. John Anderson, CEO of the Oppenheimer Group, sitting just in front of where Dave is heading. The Oppenheimer Group, founded by four brothers who followed the gold rush to British Columbia, started up in Victoria to provide food and supplies to fortune seekers. And Dave, I can't wait to find out more.
We're here, we have some drinks. I have John hanging with us right. How are you? Thanks so much for helping out. I know you're trying to get a drink in here. John, welcome. I'm so glad to be here. How are you?
Dave, I'm great, thank you. How about you?
Is it true, did we get that right, that if it wasn't for your company, we would not have had kiwi in this continent?
That's correct. Amongst a lot of other fruit products you would recognize, like easy peeling mandarin oranges, Royal Gala apples, Braeburn apples. I'll go on.
I think we could go on for a bit. John, there's so much of your company has done well. It's 1858 when you started, and I know you weren't there at the very beginning, but tell me a little bit about how have you managed to keep the roots of the company intact while still trying to be a modern, competitive company?
Well, really, it's about developing the people, the culture, and having a rigid 5-year strategic plan that is inclusive.
That's a big deal and not that easy to do. Obviously, you've succeeded at it. You're in over 25 countries. How has playing in the global markets affected your business?
Well, tremendously, because we're able to bring good, safe, tasty quality product year-round to the consumer. So it allows us to diversify our customer base, our product offerings, the number of growers, suppliers we deal with around the world to grow our business.
We got to hang out a little bit earlier. Obviously, you're very proud of the company you're in. I'm thinking that in 1858, the technology has shifted somewhat till now. I'm guessing your MySpace page was different back then. But tell me a bit about the impact of technology and its growth on your company.
Sure. So we probably move over 50 million cases, which is about 4.5 billion servings of fresh fruit and vegetables a year around the world. And we have to be able to trace it from the field in which it was grown to the end retail store or
anywhere
food service.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have to do that instantaneously for food safety reasons. So we have to have a robust system that is real-time, online, all the time. And so we had to develop our own in-house system, and we call it Optimo. And so that's been a real big for us.
It's something I can see that has taken so much work and over a century to perfect and do great. I heard that you started in the company as a warehouseman in 1975. True or false?
That is true.
It is true. So did you think back then that you would end up running the company?
To be honest with you, no. I mean, I actually wanted to be a pilot.
Really?
And I actually had my pilot's license before I had my driver's license. So that was where I was going. I actually ended up doing both, having an airline and also developing Oppenheimer. But there was one person who did see that vision, and that was David Oppenheimer. I didn't know this, but a couple of years later, one of his daughters having dinner said to me, "My dad came home a couple of weeks after you started with this company and said, 'This young man's going to run this company one day.'" So he clearly had a lot better vision of what I was doing than I did.
Well, there's 1,000 stories exactly like yours in this room, not identical in industry, but in drive and in focus and doing great work. So on behalf of everyone here today, thanks for letting me come. And, I just got to test this drink here. I know, I'm sorry, I just need to make sure. That's good, you can have it. I would drink that for sure if I were you. Thank you guys so much. And let's hear it again for John and everyone here at the Oppenheimer Group. Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.